Well, nearly every day, it seems, we hear about another company closing or filing for bankruptcy. Aldo, Reitman's, Pier 1 Imports, and countless small businesses across the country. So joining us with a closer look at the future of the retail industry is retail expert Doug Stevens. Doug, great to talk to you today. Aldo, Reitman's, both filing for protection. I think a lot of people in their heads hear bankruptcy. They think the stores are automatically closing.
Yeah, it's a common misconception, in fact, that we sort of take bankruptcy to mean that it's over. In many cases, it may mean that a company is simply trying to restructure. Don't get me wrong, it's not. It's rarely good news, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they've come to the end, simply that they're trying to rationalize the business now. They may be trying to reduce debt load. Obviously trying to get an injection of cash to move forward. Certainly that's the case with Reitman's. But no, it doesn't necessarily mean the end, but it's generally not good news.
Well, it is the end of the road for Pier 1 Imports, the first wave. So it's part of the first wave of big brand closures. Do you see any others following suit?
You know what, Ben? I think that as this crisis progresses and as brands, come under the stress of this crisis as it protracts, I think we are going to see more brands. You know what COVID-19 does, much as it does with human beings, it finds pre-existing conditions or underlying ailments in companies as well. And some of those may be that a company is carrying too much debt, that they're too reliant perhaps on physical stores, or in some cases, it's just brands that have had trouble sort of finding their positioning for years. And certainly Reitman's is one of those businesses.
So let's look to the future. Is it more likely that we're going to see those brands that survive get stronger, or are we going to see the creation and development of brand new brands, if you will, to take the place of those that have passed?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think we're going to see both. I mean, we've already started to see moves by some of the biggest players in the market who are now going out and looking for bargains. They're looking for companies that they can pick up. We're also seeing some really interesting alliances between companies like Facebook and Shopify, for example, coming together, believe it or not, to save the small business retailer and small business owner. On the other hand, you're absolutely right as well that we will see some really surprising startups come out of this. Usually times of crisis generate really great entrepreneurial ideas, partly because consumers are open to alternatives in a situation like this.
Consumer behaviors have changed as well. Which habits that we've sort of seen pop up during this pandemic do you think will stick?
Well, I mean, we've seen an astronomical increase in online sales. In some cases, depending on the business, businesses are reporting sometimes 600–700% increases in traffic to their sites. So really, a lot of Canadian consumers, for the first time, may be really exploring the online universe of things that are available. Certainly, a lot more Canadians have been buying groceries online. We know that. And it is very likely that the longer the crisis goes on, the more of those behaviors that will become embedded behaviors and really change the landscape in Canada in terms of where consumers are shopping and how.
All right, Doug Stevens, we're going to leave it there for now, but thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
My pleasure, Ben. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.